Good morning everybody, afternoon, whatever, happy Boxing Day, hope you all had a good Christmas. Got this a few days ago, before Christmas. It's the Bronco version, didn't have the Land Rover version in, but we do sell Land Rover bodies separate, so I got one of them as well. So let's go and have a butcher's and see what this is all about, see whether it's as good as the 1/10 scale. Give it that, don't need that. So let's see here, we've got a couple of Allen keys, a few bits and bobs, instructions, don't need them. It looks like the handset is similar to the 1/10 scale version, but obviously no cruise control or whatever. I don't know whether they still use the app like the other one. Crappy charger. Now what do we have here? So we've got a 20C 7.4 volt battery, but I'm hoping I can use these 2S lipos. If that's the case, I don't need that. Let's have a look at the Bronco. Don't need that. Don't need that. Right then, so I don't know why it's covered in shrink wrap, cling film, whatever you want to call it, but it's a bit. Right, that's not too bad. So it's just a fake cover on the back for the wheels. Not sure how the body comes off. Like that. No? Okay, so it's got two little clips here. Two clips there to release it from the chassis. And what do we have? So we've got a nice little motor in the middle, servo up front. It's not got as much travel as the little 118 Subaru Brat that I've got. The servo's mounted on the middle again there like that. So now I guess the only important thing is to see whether my 2S batteries will fit in there. Oh, and look at that, snug as a bug in a rug. And it's got like a rubber strap stretches over. So there we go, I'll be using them batteries, I think. But I might need to, hang on, where's the plug to plug the battery into? No, that's not going to work, is it? Because it looks like, yeah, that's a bit shit. So I think what I'm going to have to do is come up with find out what plug is on that battery and see whether I can get a couple of plugs so that I can change the plugs on the end of these so I can run these batteries, because it looks like the plug on said battery, which it looks like that plug has to plug into there, unless I've got an idea. Okay, so cue a bit of editing in a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is cut that off, stick a female JST on the end of this, leave that plugged in there, and then I should be able to plug these batteries into there. So we'll see, I'll see if I can do that. So let's do a little bit of quick editing. Boosh! Right, it turns out that you can't change the plug like I was expecting to. I wanted to cut the plug off this, leave this plugged into the ESC. There's no on off switch. As soon as you plug the battery in, that's when it's turned on. So like you see, you can see if I plug that in now, the lights are on, unplug it, it's off. There's no on off switch as such. And you can't change. What I was expecting to do was to chop that plug off, leave that plugged in the ESC, put a male adapter JST on it so I could plug this in, but that won't work because there's three wires on the Traxxas plug, on the Traxxas battery, and there's only 2 wires on the lipos that I wanted to use. So it looks like Traxxas have done this purposely to make you buy their own brand batteries. So looks like I might have to buy another battery just to be on the safe side. So I've had a little bit of a play outside. The video will follow this. So what I'm going to do in the meantime now is go ahead and install some lights. Right, so wondering if there's any upgrades for this. Maybe, probably is, but probably not as many as there is for the full size version. Yeah. Decent steering. Looks like it can crawl pretty slowly. Only 1 speed, but I shall give it a whirl. See how easy that is to pop off again. Fairly straightforward. Let's see what it looks like with the. So this was £179.99, and I think it was an extra. There's no price on that. I think it was £50 for the extra body. Whoosh, don't need that. Whoosh, don't need that. So with the Land Rover, oh look, so actually with both of them, it looks like you can add. So it's got an extra port on the ESC there. It says lights. So I'm assuming you can add. And then on here you've got light buckets at the front and light buckets at the back. The same with the Land Rover. So at some point, I've got plenty of bulbs there, so I think at some point I will add them extra lights to the body. This should just hang on. So that snaps on. That snaps on straight away like that. So what am I doing wrong with the Land Rover one? Okay, so I don't think the Land Rover body is going to fit on because this obviously must have the bumpers for the Bronco. It doesn't look like that the Land Rover body is going to fit. Oh, so that's a shame. No, that's not going to fit. Oh man, gutted. That's not going to fit on there at all. It won't clip in because it's the Bronco. Because it's got the Bronco bumpers. And that clips on straight away. and this won't clip on because of the bumper at the front. That's very disappointing. No, it won't go on because of the... Oh well, so I'll have to take that back and get my money back for that. That's yeah, that's kind of pissed me off a little bit, to be honest with you. What a shit house. Yeah, that just clips on straight away. Ah man, that's a shame because it looks like the Land Rover's got, if that was to be on there, it looks like the Land Rover's got more clearance. See, all the suspension's all the way down there and it's not touching the arches. Whereas the Bronco touches the arches. I don't know what to do about that now because I didn't have the Land Rover in stock, and the only thing I can do is take the bumpers off. The only thing I can do is take the bumpers off. But then you're going to lose the front lights in the bumper, but I suppose I'm not really too arsed if I'm going to put the lights on the body anyway. I really don't know what to do. I'm going to see if I can just whip them bumpers off and see, but no, in fact no, because that won't work then, because the bumpers are part of what it clips into, isn't it? Oh no. Right, let me just see if I can whip the bumper off. Right, I've whipped the rear bumper off and ripped the front one off, but I've just left that one hanging there for now until I'll just put that there and see if the bodies still fit on. Ah no, that's not going to work. Move! Get out of the way! No, it's not going to work because it needs the other side for the clips to clip into. So that's out of the question. But definitely would have had more clearance. So unfortunately that's a no-go. I'm going to have to get my money back for that. Time to whip the bumpers back on. Right, so I'll put the bumpers back on. Yeah, very disappointed that that won't fit. That the Land Rover body doesn't fit. So we'll give this a bit of a run outside and see what we've got, and then I shall add some lights. Tyres are pretty squishy. Looks like they squish right down to the rims. The lights on the front, none on the back yet, but I will add some of them to the back. Right, I've just had an idea, and I did a little search on Tinterweb, and I found on eBay for $10.75 you can buy the front and rear bumpers for the TRX4m Land Rover. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and get the bumper set. It's cheap enough, and then that way I can keep that body. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I mean, it's easy enough to set the bumpers off anyway, and the front bumper obviously comes with the lights, which is just a simple unplug of that, job done. So I think that's the way forward that I'm gonna do that. I've just purchased them now. They should be in a few days, and then I should be able to mount the Land Rover body onto the chassis. I mean, I do like the Bronco, don't get me wrong, but it's always nice to have two different model types. Plus, you know, this, there's not really, you know, that's touching the arches there, so it's not really got much flex. That's that. That'll obviously, when that comes, I shall update on a different video for that. But in the meantime, I've just dug out some 3mm bulbs for the rear. Somewhere in here I should have, oh that's lucky, I've got 2 left, 3mm white, so I shall be installing them. I'm going to crack on and install them, and I'll see if I can run it neatly through the sides of the panels so you won't see the wires inside. Right there, I've just fitted the lights to the front and the rear. Hot glued them to the side a little bit so that there's not too much wires hanging down. So I can go and plug this into the second light port on the ESC/receiver. Like that. Plug the battery in. For some reason the headlights aren't as bright as what I thought they would be. I don't know whether these bulbs are a little bit defective, but and they are pre-wired with the resistors anyway, so I'll go ahead and hang on a minute, just unplug that. I forgot to turn the radio gear on. Right, so there we go. We've got 4 lights on the front now rather than 2. We've got some on the rear. Them quite bright. Them it's lighting me up, isn't it? So I'll do a little. Now it's dark outside. I can go and test this outside now. And I've just charged the battery up, so that should be. That should be a full battery now, and we shall see what it's like in the dark. Now before I go and test this outside again, I just unscrewed one of the shocks just to see the oil inside it, and it hasn't really got much in it, so got some of this that I put in the this is 25 shot 250 CST that I put in the 110 TRX, and that seemed to make it a little bit better because they seem to be not self-centering themselves, these shocks at the moment, so I'm just going to see if I can make this a little bit better than what they are. Top that up to the top there. Put the bung back on. Screw that up nice and tight. A bit of white around the top for spillage. Bollocks. Straight away that feels a lot better. Right, so I've just changed the oil, and well, there was no oil in them, to be honest. So I've left the front ones as they are. You can see not very springy back, but the back ones I've just changed the oil in. That feels a lot more spongier, and it seems to be springing back better.
than the front ones, and it's not staying leaned like the old ones were with the lack of oil in. So I'll go ahead and put some oil in the front, and then we should have the same amount of springiness all round. Right, there was not much room in them shocks anyway. You can't really put too much oil in them, but there was basically probably one drop of oil that was in them before. I'm quite happy with that now. That feels so much better. It's a lot more springier. Sometimes when I push it over to the side it'd stay there, but it's actually springing back now. So we'll give that a whirl. See how we go. That's a bit better now because it doesn't seem to be bottoming out as much. I'll give it another test outside and then about the bloody shock oil, it gets everywhere, doesn't it? Well, there we go.
quite tricky one-handed with this bloody radio.
Once again, thanks for watching. Hit the like button. Bush!